Hello and welcome to the first musical musings of 2023. I hope you're ready for a great year together, reflecting and worshipping together through looking at songs and what God might be saying to us in this new year. I'm Sam and thank you for joining me. Today I thought it would be fitting for this new season to look and remember how God is, always has been, and always will be only ever good. The song Only Ever Good by Sons the Band.
Only ever good, only ever good, only ever good to me. Only ever good, only ever good, only ever good to me. That's all you've ever been, that's all you're gonna be. Only ever good, only ever good, only ever good to me.
As we've spoken about a few times on the podcast, it's always good to have a look back on what God has been doing in your life and what He's been doing for us. This reminds us and gives us confidence for the future at how God will protect us and work everything for our good, and how important it is to trust in Him. So why not do this with a song birthed from Psalm 119 verse 68. God, you are good and do only good. It's crazy to think, really, that God, who is so powerful, He could do whatever He wants, but is still good and only ever does good for us. Throughout history, the human race has created so many stories of all-powerful gods, gods like Thor, Odin, or Zeus, gods that might strike you down if they got out of bed the wrong side and you were making too much noise in the morning. But our God is so much more powerful than them, and yet all He does is good. All He does is love and only ever will be good. I want to invite you to take a few moments to think. How has God been good to you recently? Where have you seen His power at work in your life? Take a moment to thank Him for that. If you follow us on Instagram, plexus.salvationarmy, you'll have seen I've been posting a few questions on our stories. These are all stored on our Instagram page for you to go and answer anytime. I'll be posting another question today where you can let us know what God has been doing in your life. Use this as a way to worship and thank Him for all He is and all He's done and will continue to do in your life. We'd also love to be able to pray for you specifically. So we've put some questions in our story highlights on Instagram where you can share any prayer requests you might have. These won't be shared on the podcast or with anyone publicly on social media. They will simply be seen by our team and prayed for. It's that simple. Or you can simply just email us or send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. We look forward to holding you up, our listener group, in prayer. And whilst you're there, why not give us a quick like and a follow?
I am my Father's dream. He only looks on me with pride. Always so kind to me. He says I'm perfect in His eyes. Why should I ever doubt? He won't ever change His mind.
I am my Father's dream. In the book of Jeremiah, God says this to him. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet of the nations. God is reminding him that he is chosen and is able and can have confidence that God made him, dreamed him up and created him for a purpose. He has a plan that will only ever be good, and he has that same promise for you. You are precious and honoured in my sight, and I love you. Isaiah 43 verse 4. He says, you are perfect. Ponder on that for a second. Personally, I don't always feel perfect. In the eyes of the world, I don't always fit in. I may not conform to what the world says is perfect. I don't go to the gym every day. I haven't got the perfect beach body or luscious locks of hair. And I don't have the most expensive and what the world seems to say is the most stylish trainers. I'm not the most amazing footballer or even the most eloquent speaker. But God says I'm perfect. Despite all my doubts, I'm perfect. And so are you. It's good to be reminded of that every now and again. So if you head over to Instagram, Elizabeth has put together a series of artworks, pictures, and thoughts to remind us of this. Feed my spirit. So make sure you give it a follow to keep reminding yourself of the love God has for you. You'll also find it linked in the description of this episode and on our Instagram page, plexus.salvationarmy.
Father's dream. He only sees me with delight.
The second verse reminds us of the ultimate price our Lord paid, showing his goodness. It's a verse that when we sing it, we declare that we make mistakes. We understand that despite having a God that loves us and has a perfect plan for us, we still fall short. No matter how hard we try, we make mistakes. And maybe sometimes it's a lack of trying that is the problem. Through his goodness, our innocence is redeemed and our reputation reconciled. Because through his sacrifice, we are forgiven. Through his sacrifice, we are worthy to be called children of God. Our identity and reputation come from him. It is him who defines us and gives us worth. He paid the ultimate sacrifice, and if we simply believe it, we can be loved and accepted and saved for all eternity, an eternity of goodness. And as the bridge says, what could stop it? What could stop this goodness? Absolutely nothing.
I am my Father's dream. He only looks on me with pride. Always so kind to me. He says I'm perfect in his eyes. Why should I ever doubt? He won't ever change his mind. He's only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good to me. Only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good to me. That's all you've ever been. That's all you're gonna be. Only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good to me. Dream. He only sees me with delight. My innocence redeemed, my reputation reconciled. The price of his suffering, he bought me with the blood of Christ. Oh, only ever good, only ever good, only ever good, only ever good to me. Only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good, that's all. That's all you've ever been. That's all you're gonna be. Only ever good, only ever good. Only gonna sing that again, here we go. Only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good, that's all. Only ever good, only ever good. Only that's all you've ever been. That's all you're gonna be. You're gonna be only ever good, only ever good, only ever good to me. Yeah, you can't help me, God. Oh, you can't help it, Jesus. It's just who you are. It's just who you are. It's your nature, you can't help it. And what could stop all your goodness? And since forever, you've been like this. And what could stop all your, it's in your nature. It's your nature, come on. You can't help it. And what could stop? We're singing all your goodness. And since forever, he's been just like this. And what could stop? We're singing all your goodness. It's your nature. It's your nature. You can't help it. And what could stop all your goodness? Since forever, you've been like this. And what could stop all your goodness? Only ever good, only ever good. Only ever good to me. Only ever good, only ever good. Only